Today we're working on the truck. This right here is what we're going to be putting on. But first things first, let's move all the cars around. Okay, we got the seat back there, the Subi here, the truck there. I decided to keep the Subi here because there's a sensor that needs to be put on here, and with it being this close to the garage, I can do it right here. All right, as you guys saw, the cars are now put away. Since we had issues with the truck turning back on, I decided to take the battery back out and let it charge while we work on her. What I plan on doing right now is removing one of the headlights, and then once I'm done with that, I'm gonna show you guys how to remove the other one. This is how the truck currently looks. Not a bad look, but definitely in need of a change. Okay, we got the headlight out. I actually have it over here. In a bit, I'm going to show you guys how to remove those. But first, I want to show you guys a little side-by-side of the new and old headlights. So let's go ahead and unwrap them. Alright, so you guys can see the headlights are now back on the truck. I went ahead and wired them up, and in a bit I'm going to explain it a little more with that side. But as soon as we turn the lights on, you guys can see that they all turn on. And if I go one more, the headlights turn on. So everything seems to be working fine. Let me turn on the high beam to make sure. But that's the high beam right there. And then that's the turn signal right there. Now I did find a fuse that gives it power when I turn on the light. So as soon as we turn this on, there is current going through that fuse, turning on the light. So that's where you're going to connect this red one to. So you're going to find a fuse, and when you turn the light switch on, it turns on. And the way that I found it was I used my fuse tester right here, and I went through each one of them and I tested them out. And this is the one that tests this out and works for the light. So I need to find another fuse that works for that light or for this light. This is the one we're using right now, and this is a fuse adapter. I used this on the RPM gauge a while back, and I ordered a few of them, and I got this quick connector right here so that I didn't have to solder anything. I just connected it and left it there. So now I'm going to show you guys how to do it on that side. However, I have been charging my old battery for quite a time now, and every time I leave it charging, it tells me that it's at fault. And what that means is that the battery is no longer good. Now this is my battery charger right here. And in here it says fault, charge, and full. Over time, every time that it hits the fault setting, it means it's time for a new battery. And what that basically means is it's charging it, but it's not holding the charge. Last time I had this issue, we had to replace the battery on the Honda. So I'm guessing it's the same thing with this truck. It's just time for a new battery. And that's what I have right here. I have this brand new Walmart battery. This bad boy cost me $100. I never had issues with Walmart batteries. I put one on my Pontiac. I put one on my Honda, and now it's gonna go on my truck. So this is my third time owning / using a Walmart battery. And the issue that I had with the old battery is these bolts are not only old, but they're also rounded out. So I went out to Advanced Auto Parts and picked these two bad boys out. We picked up this one right here for the positive and this one right here for the negative. Now the one that I got right now doesn't have this extra nut right there, and turns out that that is used to add a connection. So if in the future I need a wire that connects to the battery, I can actually connect it because we have this extra screw bolt right there. Not sure what it's called. This right here is the negative one, brand new in box. Alright, first thing we're going to do is we're going to remove the top headlight. Once that top headlight is out, it gives us more access to remove the bottom one. So let's pop the hood open. And right in front of the battery and behind the headlights, there's these two retainers. All you got to do is slide them up and out. The only thing that's holding them is this and that down there. So when you lift this up, it'll come right off. So if you want to put it back in, you're going to put it on the big hole and slide it down. So this one should come right off. And just like that, this headlight should come off. All we got to do now is remove all the wiring. So we're going to remove these clips. There's just two of them because the third one I went ahead and took off. So let's finish taking that out. All right, now that that headlight is out, we can go ahead and pinch in these two clips right here. And as we pinch, we're gonna push, and that is how we're gonna remove this. And then right back here is the bulb, so just remove that by twisting it and pulling it, and just like that, this thing is now out. Check that out. What if we just rock this look? Right now, what we're gonna do though is we're gonna wipe this area down. Now that we're here, might as well clean it. This is a plug and play kind of headlight, so all of these connectors right here are just gonna go and plug into the new headlight. However, there's two wires that I gotta route in the engine. Those two wires, one's red, one's black. Black is ground, so we're just gonna place it somewhere near the headlight, but the red one is power, so we're gonna run it into the fuse box and tap into one of those fuses, and that's where it gets complicated. So we're gonna go right here into our fuse box, pop this open, set it aside. Now this is where I tapped in for this headlight. Now you guys see all those different fuses. I gotta tap into one of them that has current when I turn on either the ignition or the light switch. Now I prefer the light switch because what if it's daytime and I'm gonna be running these lights all day every day, so I rather they just turn on whenever I want them to turn on, which is with the headlight switch. So in here I gotta find a fuse that is dedicated to that switch. But what I'm doing right now is I'm putting the window down so I can just reach in and play with these buttons. But this is the light switch. What I did right now is I rolled down the window so I wouldn't have to open the door every time I needed to get in here. But this is the light switch. This is the show light in my opinion, and these are the lights that actually turn on. Whenever I turn this to this side, it's giving it power to one of those fuses over there. So when I turn it off, it stops giving it current. So we want to tap into something that turns on over there when we turn it on here. Sounds a little complicated, but I'm going to show you guys right now how that's gonna look. All right, I got my fuse tester right here. I'm gonna connect it to a ground. Once it has ground, we should be able to start testing some of these fuses out. Now, one of the things that I notice is that if you test them out and they turn on like how this one does, you can automatically cross that off because you know it's getting powered now. If I were to connect it here in this fuse, the headlight would be on all the time. So that's not the one. So now that I checked a couple of them, what I'm gonna do now is turn on the actual light unit so that the relay can get current, and we're gonna start testing. And it looks like we found it. Now you guys see this fuse right there. When I test it right now, the light turns on. You see that? The light turns on. But as soon as I turn off this light, the fuse no longer has current, which is a good thing, which is what we want. So that's the fuse that we're going to tap into when we put the top headlight. But this right here is what we're going to use to tap into that fuse. I like to think of this as a outlet extender. You guys know those outlets that allow you to connect other things? This is one of them right here. I can turn one outlet into 3 different outlets by using that right there. And it's the same thing with the fuse. You're gonna connect this into the fuse, and then you're gonna be allowed to put 2 different fuses in here. And what this is gonna do is help prevent a fire. Now fuses do a great job of doing that because fuses will break on their own rather than melting the wire or cord. So due to that, we are gonna be adding a second fuse, because since we're going to be running a line from this headlight all the way here, it's just better if we add a fuse. I don't know why, but we are going to be adding a fuse, especially because when we're using this wiring right here, it tells us to make sure we use one of these after a certain amount of length. This is the headlight right here. As you guys can see, there's 2 wires here. Like I said, the black one's ground, and then this red one we're gonna connect to this right here, and then this end is gonna connect to this fuse, and then we should have 2 working headlights, which I don't have, so I'm gonna use a yellow one. So this one's gonna connect there to the ground. Ground is somewhere in the engine bay, and then this is all the connecting we gotta do. So I'm gonna take a minute, take care of that. We gotta put this one on. Let's go ahead and do that real quick. Now this light does have this module right here, and it has double-sided tape, so all I plan on doing is taping it down right here. But first thing, let's wipe it down with some rubbing alcohol to make sure we have a nice clean surface for it to bond to and never come off. Now this light bulb right here we got to remove, and then this thing right here connects right into it, so no need to worry about wiring. light is in. Let's make sure it works. It's on and working. That thing looks so good. Check out this side. Really happy with how that looks. All right, now that we got that nice and situated, we're gonna start working on the top headlight. The ground I'm gonna put in the exact same spot that I put the other side's ground in, and that was in this bolt right there. As you guys can see, it's right there. So that's where the ground's gonna go. However, the red wire I'm gonna tuck underneath the fender behind the wall, and then I'm gonna run it across the fender again, and hopefully it'll fit underneath the fuse box, because sometimes you gotta grind stuff or make holes in them to run the wire. And if you want to hide it, luckily right now I haven't done anything to the fuse box, so fingers crossed that everything goes good and we keep it that way. What I'm gonna do now though is wire up this headlight. All right, I got the headlight all wired up. As you guys can see, the black cable is gonna be going to ground, and then I also have the red wire all wired up. That's all the wire right there, and it goes into this right here. I already have the fuse in there as well. I'm gonna plug it all in and see if it turns on. But again, this one right here, I'm gonna tap into, is gonna be going and replacing this one right here. So let's go ahead and take care of that too. Check out the lights. All right. Okay, I got the truck in this multi-story parking lot. And I got it in here for two reasons. One, plan on taking the picture that I plan on having in my website here. Now, I envision the picture in a building like this, so came to check a couple out. I think this is the one that's gonna be used to take that picture. You guys are gonna see the picture in the future, but I am very happy with how the lights are reflecting on that glass. I'm about to show you guys a quick walkthrough of the truck and its new headlights. I really love the look. I want to savor this moment, so I'm gonna give a quick walkthrough of the truck. Now, this right now is how she is currently sitting and looking. Ever since I put the tints on the windows, this truck just looks so much better. I also went ahead and, like I said, put the blacked out third brake light. I think that complements the rear so much. And I also went ahead and installed these tail lights. So the back and sides are looking nice and good. Might have to do something about the wheels. But check out these new headlights. This thing looks so good with those new headlights, especially since I just went ahead and tinted the fog lights. But check that out. That thing looks so good. When I unlock it, it turns on too, which is one of my favorite things about this truck now. With the old headlights, only one would turn on, and it wouldn't even turn on right because it was messed up. And then, like I said, one of them was just completely out, so it wasn't working. But this new look, amazing. Now, before I turn it on, I want to show you guys the different settings that I can put this truck in. So if I go ahead and turn the knob there, it'll look like this. Now that look is also good. This is like how I would have it if it was just parked at a car show. Now when it's driving, it's gonna look like this. So that middle one right there turns on. Again, looks nice. And then this right here is gonna be the high beams. Check that out. I'm not gonna lie. This truck looks so much better with those headlights, bro. I'm gonna go inside the truck though because it's cold. Let me turn off these high beams. Like I said, very happy with how these headlights look. Like I said earlier in the video, not only are we gonna be able to see better with these headlights, but the truck also looks better with these headlights. Yeah, I'm gonna have them linked down below for you guys for 200 bucks. couldn't go wrong. Next time you guys see me, we're probably gonna be working on the Honda. I've been driving that bad boy for a minute now, and I just gotta add something to it. So next time you guys see me, you guys are gonna see what that is. But until then, this is Javi from Javi's Productions. Peace out, my friends.